This is 219 News Now, brought to you by Strachan Van Til, making lives easier for 94 years.
I'm Andrew Garcia, and this is your 219 News Now. Roughly 4,000 men, women, and children were expected to attend NWI-Comic-Con at the Crown Point Fairgrounds, which marked its 10th anniversary. The 100-plus exhibitors included comic books, collectibles, an artist alley, artisans, original art, and board and video games. Local artists included Corey Hampshire of Valparaiso and Greg Manwaring of Crown Point. Hampshire worked 14 years for Marvel and now works for himself. While at Marvel, he worked with Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, the Hulk, X-Men, and Star Wars. After last week's sentencing of former Latin Council leader Eduardo Luciano to 3 life sentences in the 2015 Beale Street killings in Hammond, a Hammond High grad who's acting head of the Chicago ATF office opened up about how personal this was for him. It starts with where Jason Gore grew up.
Anybody knows me knows I grew up in an apartment on the corner of Conky and Jackson Street. My grandmother owned a house on the 6200 block of Jackson Street, which is the block that the Latin Counts occupied. So there wasn't a time that I couldn't walk up to nearly any door on that block and knock on that door. And I knew them and they knew me. So I took extreme exception to the behavior that was going on that block. A lot of these folks are elderly and, they do not deserve to live like that.
The murders of Christopher White and Lauren Calvillo happened a short ways away in the Jacobs Square neighborhood. Gore has a connection there too.
On the other side of that equation, my wife grew up in Jacobs Square, or otherwise known as Little Waco. So her childhood was spent in that neighborhood as well, and I am certain that she would say the same thing, that there was a group of really good people that lived in that neighborhood. They were close, they were hardworking, and they did not deserve that. So for me, it was personal in that vein, and to be a part of, bringing this to an end and getting some semblance of justice for the family was very, very important.
The final sentencing in the Beale Street murders is set for February 28th. For more information on the story, visit nwi-com. And in sports, the regular season is over, and now it's time for postseason hockey. P&W will play host to Roosevelt on Tuesday at the Cube at 7 p.m. in the opening round of the GLCHL playoffs. The Pride recently swept a pair of games against the Lakers back on February 2nd and 3rd. You can, of course, catch the action from this game on jed-tv. For all other local headlines, though, visit nwi.com. I'm Andrew Garcia, and this has been your 219 News Now.